My next guest is a Northeast Nebraska native who has helped turn the family business into an amazing organic produce producer for Northeast Nebraska and beyond. Jay, thanks for making time to be here today.
Zach, thanks for having me.
No problem. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about it for a little bit.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I'm glad we found an evening that works for both of us.
For sure. I'm Zach Miller with my co-host Vance Sat.
Nice to meet you, Jay.
Vance, you as well.
And we are touching base with Jay Wolff today. Jay, let's get a little bit of background on you. You grew up right outside of Norfolk, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up on the family farm just 3 miles southeast.
That's good. Did you go to Norfolk High then?
I actually went to Lutheran High.
Lutheran High. Okay.
Yep,
I knew it was
yeah.
somewhere in town probably, but
Yeah, I graduated in 2010.
okay, so you're still pretty young. Not that far off.
Yeah.
I graduated 06, so we're not too far off
Yeah.
of each other. I'm sure that you spent a lot of time, working on the farm during that time, right?
I mean, yeah, geez. I just remember growing up, my dad always raised sweet corn and watermelons, and we'd have a roadside stand here in Norfolk and then another one down in Lincoln, and I just loved picking sweet corn. And I mean, there's pictures of me.
You loved picking sweet corn?
I loved it, yes. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to, I can tell you that. But I mean, there's pictures of me out there with, barefoot, just my shorts and a 5-gallon bucket. I'm about the size of the 5-gallon bucket trying to pick sweet corn, to make a little money to spend on whatever,
That's interesting. I don't know that I would enjoy picking sweet corn for that long.
I can tell you,
I commend you.
without a doubt, I despise picking sweet corn.
I mean, I grew out
more.
of it a little bit. I mean, that's one. I mean, we started, just the watermelons and the sweet corn, and now we grow 40 different vegetable items that, I mean, you're not doing the same thing every day all day.
Right.
Which I really enjoy that.
Yeah, we'll get into those here in a little bit. At Lutheran High, did you play any sports or anything, or we kind of just?
I wrestled and did cross country.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess wrestling was my sport. I enjoyed that a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
Where'd you end up going to college? Did you go to college?
I did, yes. I went to UNL and studied agronomy and horticulture. Yeah.
How did you come to that decision? Were your parents involved with that, or how did you decide on UNL? We try, for our younger listeners, we try to kind of go through the process of picking a college, picking a degree.
My older brother was at UNL, and I'd visit him here and there, and I knew I was always a Husker fan growing up, so I wanted to go there. I mean, that's not the reason to go, but that was a major part at the time. And I knew I wanted to be involved in farming. I'm not sure how. I didn't know if I wanted to return to the family farm or just, maybe whether being an agronomist at a local co-op or any other. I mean, there's so many different options in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I just went into college kind of
open-minded.
Yeah, open-minded. I think I was general education for the first semester and a half before I decided on agronomy with the minor in horticulture.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that. Did you ever think about doing anything else besides the family business? But that's kind of cool that you thought about it. But
yeah, I pretty much always knew I wanted to farm.
That's good. Obviously, if you enjoy picking sweet corn.
Yeah.
So Wolff Farms.
Yeah.
Tell me how you guys went from doing farmers markets and roadside stands to where you are today.
Yeah. So, about when I was graduating from college, and I think it was the fall of 2014. I think I had to take a couple more credits, the summer after my 4 years to get it all done. But I was kind of debating between, returning to the family farm, which it's a smaller size farm, it's just a couple hundred acres, where my dad's already working full time. And I did have the option to actually work at, being an agronomist at one of the local cooperatives. And I guess decided to take the risk on, farming at the time. I didn't have a wife or kids or anything. So it's just me, just pretty much having to pay rent, I guess. And so basically we started growing more vegetables that summer and, picked up a couple more farmers markets. And that's kind of when we picked up on selling to Hy-Vee grocery stores and other grocery stores as well.
So that was before the Fresh Finds boxes was getting into the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Before the boxes, I I think I just called like every Hy-Vee store in, Norfolk, Lincoln, Omaha, and Sioux City, and told them who I was and wanted to start the business, and quite a few of them helped me out. And other grocery stores as well, like the Natural Grocers in Omaha and Lincoln, and it's cutting in and out once.
So you're falling away a little bit.
Okay, I'm going too far. Okay.
There we go. This should be okay.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. It happens.
That sounds good.
It takes a bit to get used to.
So we'll kind of come back to some of that, getting into the stores and stuff here in a minute.
Okay.
What regulations and rules do you have to follow to be able to call all your produce organic?
So organic certification, that I would refer you to the USDA website. Yeah. There's so many rules and regulations.
You and I kind of sat and looked at them for a little bit before. Yeah.
Basically, they have a list of pesticides, insecticides, everything that you cannot use. And then other growing practices like hydroponics. If you're familiar with that, you can be certified organic. For the most part, I think there's a couple states maybe that allow it.
You can or can't?
Cannot.
On hydroponics is not considered organic?
Exactly, yep. Yeah. Even if you do.
Just because of the food that they put in the water or what?
I don't know exactly. I know because you can, one product we use is like a fish infusion, which is like ground up trout. It smells terrible.
Yeah, it smells god awful.
Oh, man.
So I got a family friend that used to do a bunch of organic farming, and either chicken shit or
exactly. Yeah, basically it's all natural. It works good, but it smells terrible. So you could use that in hydroponics. I don't exactly understand why it's, you can't use it being certified organic, but our inspector comes once a year, and that's one of the things they tell us. We use a third party. It's called One Third out of Lincoln, which basically all the paperwork that I do, I send to them and they approve it, or they tell me what I need to correct or anything like that.
Gotcha.
They give you if you make any mistakes, there's a non-compliance letter that they'll send to you and tell you have 30 days to fix it.
Is it better to be, excuse me, is it better to be organic or allow, say, all the pesticides that come in? Is there, so to say, a huge profit difference? Are you looking at it to say we are organic, or? So
it reassures our customers that the third party reassures our customers, this is how we're growing it. We're not just saying, hey, we're not spraying any Roundup on our weeds that, or anything else as far as insecticides or anything on our crops. It's one thing between, a farmer at a farmer's market telling you that, and then, doing another thing and having a third party come in and inspect everything.
Yeah, it's basically so that you can have the certified organic, so that they know for a fact that you're following these regulations.
Exactly. Yeah. So
you okay?
Specifically with grocery stores, they need to see that certification for you to sell it organic. At the farmer's market, it doesn't matter as much.
Right. But at least they'd have a trust.
You can ask them. Yeah, you're speaking to the person growing it.
Yeah, basically at a farmer's market, it's on your word, and you just be a shitty person if you're not
exactly
truly, if you're not going by the book,
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy though, getting into those grocery stores and stuff. What are the different types of produce that you grow? So you started with sweet corn, watermelon.
Yeah.
And now you guys do quite a bit of stuff. When I first started doing the Fresh Finds boxes, there were some things I'd never even heard of before that are, pretty unique.
The list is well over 40 items. So I tell them everything from asparagus to zucchini, pretty much anything you can grow in the state of Nebraska. Believe it or not, we grow kale. That's that's been a more popular one lately. Kale. I can just start naming stuff off. Let's see. Right now we have Brussels sprouts in the ground. We have cabbage, kohlrabi, broccoli, cauliflower, the baby broccoli as well.
Yep.
Bok choy. We've got some strawberries, and we're growing some raspberries this year.
Is that new this year?
That's new this year.
I was going to say, yeah.
So it'll be a couple years before we're producing very many of them, but we're giving it a try. Yeah, people have asked for berries more and more. Yeah, we're going for it.
The kohlrabi. That's an interesting one. It's good.
I like kohlrabi a lot. There's one recipe where it's I don't know, have you ever tried I'm going to say it wrong, but it's celery root, celeriac is what they call it. Oh, yeah. So like it's, you mash kohlrabi and celeriac, like you skin them and then mash them, boil them and mash them like mashed potatoes.
Really?
And that was a good one. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's got it's the same texture as mashed potatoes, but it's got like a kick of celery with that, brassica taste to it.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool that you guys send recipes out with the fresh vine stuff too for each thing. Like some people probably get the kohlrabi, like, what do I do with this?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I get the occasional text message too, like, what is this? There's like the list in the box also, and they can't process of eliminate when there's two different things.
It almost looks like an alien eye when you grab it. It's got the thing.
It's good though.
Yeah. And the watermelon, the watermelon's really good. You guys usually have some good watermelon. You guys do other melons too, right? Now? Other types of melons?
Watermelon, cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
Yep. No, yeah, that's kind of, Norfolk watermelons. I mean, anyone that grows them in the Elkhorn River Valley, they have really good watermelons. Right. So, yeah.
I thought for some reason I had gotten a honeydew or something from you guys before. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, you would know. Obviously, you would know.
It's like, unless I gave you a green cantaloupe. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. But yeah, you guys have a plethora of stuff. It's good to hear you guys are doing the berries.
Yeah.
Is that something harder to grow around here?
It's more difficult because of the shelf life side of it. Like berries are and especially with the box, when we were doing like several hundred, units or whatever, and shelf life also, they got to stay refrigerated that way. So yeah, it's going to be, I think we might've done strawberries one time. But yeah, it's hard to get the volume, I guess, for any berry.
Yeah, I suppose. Are there different, obviously we talked about regulations. Are there different regulations based on what produce you are growing, or is it all regulations on all organic produce?
So we certify every crop that we grow. So like it's like with the perennials, it's a little different, I guess, but you either have to buy certified organic seed or non-treated seed and have proof that you cannot find it certified organic, this variety. So like I always have a list of 3 different seed companies I go through that, hey, none of them have, let's say like Dunja zucchini is the variety of zucchini we grow. These 3 companies don't have it that sell certified organic seed. So I can go to this 4th company that grows it non-treated or that has non-treated seed.
Okay. Well, that's kind of good then.
Yeah.
Do you think there are too many regulations and rules on some of the organic stuff?
I'm going to say no. I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any you want to make sure, rules that I think are like ridiculous or anything that they go through. I mean, there's tons of record keeping, but I like it just to keep the system on it. Like, keep everyone honest that's doing it.
And you do a really good job of keeping records. We have a relationship outside of the podcast or whatever, but it's nice. It's cool to see, some farmers probably wouldn't be able to know exactly what's going on, and you got a whole book worth of stuff. It's kind of cool.
My wife taught me a lot about spreadsheets and are more than I ever care to know. So
yeah, we don't always like a lot of regulations and stuff coming from the government, but I get when certain things need it, and
that's one thing that I would say.
Food is probably
right. Yeah.
We probably need more regulations on other types of food, not produce, but
especially like when it's, everyone has it's an option. Like you can purchase certified organic, but you don't have to at the same time. Everyone has options. So,
right. Do you have any crops or anything that you'd like to implement in the future, or something that you've kind of got coming down the pipeline at all?
I mean, raspberries is a new one. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. Not really.
No, I didn't know, because you're probably limited on what you can do in Nebraska, right?
Yeah, that's not true. I just thought of one thing. Actually, I purchased 25 pecan trees, northern pecans. So maybe talk to me in like 7 years from now and let me know. So I'll let you know if I have any of those.
That's kind of cool getting into that.
Yeah. I went to it was like a farm to school, like foods conference. And one of the people there was speaking about their pecans that they grow, and they brought samples, and I ate them. I'm like, man, these are good. And I'm like, you grow these in Omaha?
That's kind of cool.
So I'm like, yeah, I bought a bundle of trees. I'll see if I can't kill them or not.
So what, was your dad organic from the beginning?
Right. Yeah. He made it's 2009 when he started growing certified organic, but he never cared to spray insecticides on his crops, I know, or anything really. It was one story that always sticks out in my mind was he would tell me, there'd be an earworm that he sprayed and killed that fell off off the stalk of corn. And then, a robin or whatever, a bird would fly by and eat that worm. What's it doing to that? And, what's it doing to the soil and everything else? And it kind of just, gets you thinking. Honeybees as well. I like bees a lot. And, well, I mean, you read in the news or whatever that, the population is always on the decline and stuff like that. So
that's super important to the environment.
Right. Yeah. We have a local beekeeper out there that takes care of, there's probably a dozen hives out there or something.
Out on your place?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So you got a good supply of honey.
Yeah, I get a quart once a year or so. So, I mean, more than I can eat. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. He just go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I've always heard on honey, it's really good to get local honey from wherever you live, because that inoculates you from the allergies that you get throughout the year from your general area where you're at.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't hear that. But
so like raw honey
yeah.
or honey from, not from the store is always better no matter what, but try to get it from somebody that has grown it where you live.
I'm going to say, there you go down to the farmer's market Saturday morning, get some honey.
Yeah. And I think it's because they're pulling all the different kinds of pollen from the area. And
that makes
sense.
Like
it inoculates you from those allergies. I've heard that. If it's true or not, I don't really know, but I've heard it from the old farmers. They've always told me that. So
they always say a spoonful of honey will keep a lot away too.
Keep a what?
Keep a lot of things away. A lot of sickness and a lot of different things.
I love honey. Honey's good. I just never take the time to do anything. I was going to say, I eat it all the time.
I mean, other than, use a spoon and eat it like candy. I honestly don't even know what to do with it.
I put it on like
I've never done that. I put it on toast or something.
Yeah.
I eat it right out of I'll eat it right out of the spoon. Oh yeah.
I've never done that.
I love it.
When you're sick, warm milk and honey is amazing.
There you go.
That's what I do.
That's good for the throat for sure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good to hear that he kind of almost went to the organic route. Like he was already thinking that way anyway. And then.
Right. Yeah. I'll say he was organic before it was, a thing, before it was cool or something or anything like that. So yeah.
That's that is really cool.
Are you majority ground or majority greenhouse? Or do you have both, or do you not have greenhouse?
So we have a couple greenhouses. Most of what we grow, like as far as vegetables, gets started in the greenhouse and then goes outside. Like green beans and sweet corn are direct seeded with the planter. A couple other things are, but everything else is mostly transplanted. So
that's pretty cool. And I know I've seen you guys when you guys do the whatever you guys are sitting on that thing. Is that planting or is that?
It's called a water wheel transplanter. Yeah. So you sit on two seats on the back of a tractor, and then it basically has a wheel that spins and it pokes a hole. Well, so we make a raised bed. It pokes a hole in the raised bed, and then dumps a splash of water in that hole, and then you just drop your plant into that hole, and so you're not on your hands and knees. You're just riding on a seat with foot
I've seen videos and pictures of you guys doing that on your Facebook page. That's pretty cool how that works.
That piece of equipment helps out a lot.
I'm sure. And it's definitely a family business with many of you helping out. Once you're in season, this is kind of a 7-day a week business, right?
Yeah, it's a full-time job, that's for sure. So my the Wolff Farms produce, like the LLC that we have, my dad, my wife, and I are the three partners. My mom didn't want my mom's just as involved, but didn't want she just wanted to be in the background, I guess. But no, I mean, my family helps out quite a bit. I mean, I've got a couple siblings still, that live in Norfolk here, and then nephews and nieces that come out and help on the farm too. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tell the listeners a little bit about the Fresh Find boxes.
Right. So the Fresh Finds produce box, it's based off of a CSA, which is like community supported agriculture is what it's called. You might not have heard of that, but basically it's a weekly produce box that we do 14 weeks throughout the summer. So let's see, it starts the first Monday in June this year, where you'll get 7 different in-season produce items in the box. So like seasonally, like start of the season, we're going to have a lot more of the greens, like the spinach. We'll have a lettuce mix, sugar snap peas, radishes, stuff like that. And as the season goes on, basically whatever's in season. But yeah, every Monday you can pick up a box with these 7 different items in it. And basically it's like having a garden without having to do the gardening, right? You're going to get, so every Monday morning, the crew and myself are out picking and packing these boxes and then delivering them around Norfolk.
Oh, so you guys do all the picking that day too, huh?
Picking on Monday morning.
Wow.
And then, I get to roll and get it picked, packed, or picked, wash, packed, and in the cooler and delivered and picked up.
Picked fresh that day, people.
Yes.
That's really cool.
That's another, people don't realize, like, let's say, like the spinach that you'll get in the grocery store, like, it could be harvested in like somewhere in California, let's say. It could be between harvest and packed and delivered, like it could be 3 weeks old before it gets on the shelf.
Wow.
Which is like, it's not on the grocery store. It's just that's their option. That's how long it takes to get here. And then like, so people ask like, or that's a comment I'll get is like, man, I forgot my spinach in the back of the fridge for a month and it looks as green as it did. Like, looks better than, And I'm like, well, yeah, so now it's just catching up with what you'd be purchasing.
It's not like lettuce you buy from the store that's bad within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I've used, done the Fresh Finds boxes for the last, I think, 4 years. They're great. They're great boxes.
Thank you.
It makes you kind of want to cook fresh too. Maybe you're not always wanting to cook, but this way you get these ingredients, what's coming, and you can plan a couple meals out of it for the week.
Right. Yeah. Well, I tell everyone, your goal is to eat one of the, you get 7 different items, eat one item every day of the week, to get your box used up. Yeah.
I usually end up putting everything in one dish.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
because they usually all kind of complement each other.
Well, and it's, it's the heat of the summer too. So, so much of this stuff goes great on the grill. You can be outside cooking. It's just,
yep.
Yeah.
And you guys do potatoes too, right?
Yep.
Little baby reds, I think.
We have several varieties this year,
really?
actually. Yeah, the Norland Reds, the Yukon Golds, Kennebecks.
Are the golds new?
They'll be new this year. Well, we've always done a small amount, so never enough to put in the box. We just have a few for ourselves, kind of.
That's kind of cool.
But, yeah.
I enjoy a good variety of potatoes.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy grilling, this whole box, you can do a whole meal on the grill. Obviously, you need some meat, but you can do the sides with all the stuff that come in the box.
Yes. I'm looking at the brochure here, like the bell peppers. I love doing stuff.
Oh yeah,
bell
the
peppers too. Like, there was. So I guess my wife puts a recipe card that she does. She puts one of those in every box, and one of them it's like a stuffed bell pepper, but it's chicken and there's rice in it, but I can't remember what it's good.
Like a Tex-Mex type one, or is it more of like a cream cheese based?
There we go, cream cheese in there. Yeah, there we go. I need to find it. It's good. It's been a while since I've done it. So.
Yeah, I always forget you guys do. Like, there's some things that I keep forgetting that you guys do in those boxes. And also, if you don't do the boxes, or even if you do and you want more of a certain kind of produce, you can call up and get a specific.
Yeah, if you need, let's say you're, making salsa that week and you need extra tomatoes, let me know and we can. Well, if they're in season,
and tomatoes and peppers and
everything,
cucumbers.
Where do you get these boxes?
Where do I purchase?
Where would like a consumer go to get it?
So the pickup is on First and Elm base. Either to sign up for the box, you would either call or text me, or you can sign up on our website.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so go to Wolff Farms on Facebook. And is it just wolffarms.com? You guys have a website?
Wolff Farms Produce.
wolffarmsproduce.com.
So and we spell our last name with 2 F's. So
Yep.
you got to type 3
W-O-L-
F's in a row.
FF.
It throws everyone off every time.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, I mean, if you type Wolff Farms Produce in on Facebook, you can find it from there.
Yeah.
Even if you spell it wrong.
Yeah. But so when do you need to sign up for those by? I'm kind of forgetting.
So the first pickup is June 3rd. I won't turn anybody away before then, but sooner is better, to help us prepare.
And if anybody wants to pick up at 504 North 13th Street at my office, give me a call.
Yes.
We can have that as a drop-off location.
Exactly, yeah. And that's another thing, yeah. So we work with local businesses as well and drop off. Basically, if you have 10 people, whether it's employees or customers or anything that all want to do the box, like we can drop it off to that location compared to picking it up. We've in the past, we've done a drop off in Randolph. We've done one in Pierce, where they've had 10 people. One at the Neely as well.
Yeah, that's kind of nice because it does get kind of busy at the main location.
It does, yeah. So that helped that way, and it's it's convenient for the customer too to have their box get dropped off at their work
right
just before 5 o'clock on Monday, so they can take it home.
Right, because so the pickup location is still at the same spot.
Yep. So yeah, the corner of First and Street.
Yep, First and Elm there, which is that is kind of a nice little in and out, but it does get real busy.
It was a mess last summer with all the construction.
Oh, I'm sure.
On First Street, and then I think but we made it through there. They got the roundabout put in, and all that good stuff. So,
everybody loves roundabouts in this town.
Yes. Oh, that way. Oh yeah.
What made you guys start that program in the first place?
So my younger sister started it, Sora, when she was helping on the farm. And I think we started with like 8 or 9 people doing it. And like, it was great at the time. Yeah. I mean, it grew slowly every year. And then of course I found, Sora, let's see, after college, she moved to Lincoln. And then I kind of tried to take it over, and I'm not very good on the marketing side of it. But then when I found my wife, she took it over, the advertising, made these nice brochures, everything like that. And, it took off. All I guess it did was, tell people, if people knew it was out there, which I had trouble telling people.
Yeah. Did Sora think of it kind of like competing with those other subscription boxes, like from big corporations?
Yeah, so she's the one that found the name, the name Fresh Finds. But yeah,
that's cool.
She founded that, so we got to give her credit there. But yeah, then when my wife took over with all the marketing and contacted several businesses in Norfolk, it just really took off.
Were you trying to say something? Oh, okay. How did you end up getting your foot in the door at some of the stores and other places you've taken your produce, like the natural grocers and places like that? Was that a hard process?
Some of them, some were harder than others. I mean, it's all cold calling them. I mean, so I'm nervous, of course, stumbling on the phone, kind of like I am right now.
You're fine.
But
it's not live. Don't worry, it's not live.
But yeah, basically just called and said, "Hey, I'm Jay." I mean, geez, most of them I called straight out of college. I said I just graduated. We got a small produce farm south in Norfolk, and I've got X, Y, and Z. I've got radishes available right now like crazy. I mean, can I bring you a few? Would you like to try them out? And then I'd say one of the bigger steps with the grocery store side of it was the PLU numbers and the UPC numbers. Like, so if you weren't certified organic, you could just drop them off. They normally don't have a lot of stickers on a lot of the local stuff, but with organic, everyone needs to be labeled. That's part of, my certification process is like lot numbers and all that stuff. So
every package or every individual produce?
If it's packaged, it needs to be on the package. But if it's, like each watermelon stickered, each tomato stickered.
You're fine. So that'd be the same thing with onions and all that. Just everything individually stickered when you take it to a store like that?
So with our onion, we do 3-pound bags. So we sell at the grocery store. So that's pretty cool. With a twist tie and it's UPC with a barcode on it, I believe, on the tag.
When you first started it, did you, I don't know how to ask this, did you have them make sure they took a certain amount? And like now, do you like make them like require them to take a certain dollar amount or a certain pound weight wise?
So most everything is sold by the case, but there's like, there was a time when I would do like minimum orders, but I mean, pretty much everyone I work with now is pretty good about, making it worth my trip.
Yeah.
I'm going to like, from a Papillion or something like that.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking. If you're making the trip from Norfolk up to Omaha or Lincoln or wherever, making sure that, it's worth the trip coming up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Being able to expand your wings a little bit. With the Hy-Vee stuff, obviously you said you called them. Have they been a pretty good proponent for you? They stuck with you for most of this time?
No, they've been great. They're really, you always see those big banners that say Hy-Vee homegrown on them and then the picture of the farmer and all that stuff. They don't have one in Norfolk yet. I wish they did, with me and my dad on it. There's one, There's a couple that I'll see in Omaha, but nobody I knew is, told me, hey, I saw you, I saw a poster of you at Hy-Vee. I'm like, God, I wish.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool though. I mean, then you can, are you looking to expand a little more?
I think we're in a pretty good place right now, but I'm not turning any customers down either.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Cause you also you said it's a smaller farm, so you don't want to get too big for your britches either, right?
Right.
It's kind of that happy medium.
Yeah. Well, so like the whole farm's, my dad farms roughly 200 acres. It's like there's a quarter section with like a little side piece, I guess, on the track, if that makes sense. But of that 200 acres that are farmable, there's about 25 acres of vegetables this year. And then the rest, my dad rotates corn, soybean, organic soybeans, organic alfalfa in there. So, there's always room for more produce. It's more the labor of, planting, harvesting, picking,
right.
Delivering. Yeah. That side is.
And you don't want to expand too far until you're going to have the.
I did try getting a little bit bigger last year with trying to sell to the AWG co-op, and there's just a lot bigger farmers that you're competing with, thousands of acres in California, trying to sell them one case of cabbage at their price, it's difficult. So I think the closer that you are selling, the closer you are to your customer is better for my business.
Right. Makes sense. Tell me a little bit about your dad. I'm assuming, this is something he's obviously started, or was there his father that did it too, or is he kind of the first one?
So the farm was my grandma's homestead farm. So like, I don't know there's like a plaque somewhere, like 150-year farm from this, Sand County or whatever that.
Right.
But so my grandma homesteaded it, and then my dad farmed it. So he has three other brothers that are have been involved in farming too. And this was like, let's see, like the other farms are like 5 miles south or so. So this was kind of his corner that he was always farming. So yeah, Grandpa was always there too growing up.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And obviously he still works a lot of the day to day.
Oh right? Yeah.
He's in the produce side of the business.
So he's the farmer's market salesman expert. Everyone loves Dwayne at the farmer's market. He goes to the farmer's market in Omaha at the Legacy Shopping Mall on Saturday mornings, and then Sunday he's in Lincoln at the there's one at it's called College View. It's I think Union College on like 48th and Prescott in Lincoln.
That's really cool.
An early morning.
Yes.
On Saturday, early Saturday and Sunday morning.
Yeah, geez.
You guys pick them Saturday morning then, or Sunday night to get them loaded, or?
So we pick for farmers markets on Friday for both Saturday and Sunday, and then we have a cooler on the farm there, and then the box truck is refrigerated, and he's got a cargo van as well that he delivers in or hauls to produce to the farmers market in.
Yeah,
you can tip that this way.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
there you go.
Here, I'll help you.
There we go.
That feels a lot
better.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh yeah. All right, let's restart.
No, you're good. I think you sounded fine. You're fine. You guys really seem to have a good model for what you're doing. I hope things go well for you in the future. Do you have any future plans of any kind?
No, I would start with saying that, yeah, we've got a lot of support from the community, like with the produce basket at the farmers markets, Hy-Vees again here in Norfolk. Norfolk Public Schools, they purchase a little bit of produce from us.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, let's see. There's a couple other, like, I'm gonna forget people, like
that's okay.
The chef at the Meadows, he actually buys some stuff from us as well. So yeah, there's a lot of support for our business in the community.
That's awesome. Have you kind of mentioned it, the farm to school or farm to table? Are you a part of that in the community here? Like, do you supply some of the produce for that when they do some of that stuff?
So yeah, well, there's like, it's honestly just starting, I think, in the state of Nebraska, like getting local fresh produce, or local fresh farm products, I'm going to say, into schools. Like in that, I feel like it's growing pretty quick too. There's like a committee, I guess, put together too, like within the state, that's like tackling that project. And I'm just kind of one of the farmers that's on it, that gives my 2 cents, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're on there.
That. Yeah.
Because I know I called you, I think it was last year, when the my wife's daycare was doing a farm to table thing.
Exactly.
And we used you guys, and that was kind of cool. And it's good to see that that's kind of a growing thing. I think that's important to educate the kids on different, just produce in general. You'd
be surprised. Yeah. Even like, in an ag state like Nebraska, how many kids don't understand that, food doesn't come from the grocery store.
I don't even think it's just kids. You want to know? Yeah. I think as a nation right now, you have so many people that are out of farming, ranching, and everything. They don't understand where their food comes from.
Oh, yeah, I grow up that. I raise livestock. I've raised beef cattle my whole life, so I know I know where we're coming from. There, people they have no clue,
right?
And then it just people don't understand. The one thing that I've noticed is, and you talk about regulations on the organic thing. You don't think it's too bad? I would imagine for the schools to be involved is 10 times worse. I think like schools, I couldn't imagine working with schools. I think it would be just crazy.
Yeah.
The Department of Ed is nothing to, like, that's a whole nother issue.
But I'm sure the organic part helps with some of that, right? Already?
Well, so there is like food safety involved in organic, which they require like a food safety plan for the farm, and having all your employees educated on that plan. So yeah, a lot of it overlaps.
I'm sure. That is,
you just see them adding a bunch more stuff that's unnecessary,
right?
But I think the fresh food and farmer owned food, and we raise cattle, we sell some beef. Know a lot of people that do the same thing. It's so much better than what you can get in a grocery store. Like,
oh yeah,
at least in the grocery store on produce side, they have your local produce, but they don't really have that on the beef side really in your grocery stores.
That's
so and not. You can get decent beef. You can get good value. You can get good value in non-home raised beef. But like if you want really good meat.
Yeah,
really good produce. You want home raised. You want somebody that where it's coming from.
We get a whole critter from a friend of mine, and put it in the freezer, and it's when we run out, or like if we gotta wait for a locker spot, it's just miserable, waiting until we can have more.
And a lot of people, like you said, they just think you can go to the grocery store. What do you mean? I can just go to the grocery store. We're pretty. There's a lot less of them around here, but I couldn't imagine living in a big city where. People have no clue what goes on a farm.
Right.
And going back to people's knowledge too, it's become harder to make smaller farms profitable. So people think one farmer can run however much land and feed the world. And that's not really the case. There's so many different people that are involved.
Right.
Even with you guys in the size you guys are, to do the organic, to pick all that stuff, to do the fresh finds boxes, you said that you got plenty of help.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's not just you and your dad.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, going back to kind of how it started though, too, there was, with the size of my dad's farm when he was just doing, like some watermelon, some sweet corn, I had to figure out like how to make it profitable for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Then, hey, I want to farm too, but we only have so much farm. So
yeah, it's good that you can kind of downsize it, but still have enough. I mean, you guys put out a crap ton of vegetables in that, whatever you said, 25 acres of.
Right. Yeah.
For the
when it comes to
other
vegetables, 25 is a lot of acres. Yeah. I mean, if it was corn or soybeans, I mean, that's nothing, but it's all hand well, the majority's hand harvested and, and all that stuff. So
it takes time.
How do you control your weeds and stuff on like throughout the off season and everything? Just a lot of tillage or
cultivation's a big one. We use like that raised bed is a plastic mulch on top of it. That plastic mulch controls weeds. You still get weeds in the row and next to the plastic. But yeah, we have, cultivators like a buffalo cultivator that's probably like, 40 years old or something like that. That still just works great for cultivating. And then the weeds you miss there, you pull those out by hand. Another, one of the more fun tools to use, it's called a flame weeder or a pyro weeder. So, basically like when you plant,
sounds fun.
Yeah. When you plant a bed of lettuce, let's say, you'll make your raised bed, you'll water it, then you'll once it dries out a little bit, you'll plant your lettuce right there. A lot of the times, like your lamb's quarters or other grasses will pop up just before the lettuce pops up. So if you can dig around out there and figure out, or it takes like 3 or 4 days for lettuce to pop up. So if you go out there in 2 or 3 days and then burn off everything on that row, kill those weeds, and then your lettuce comes up just a step ahead of the weeds. So that's pretty cool. That
sounds like fun. Just burning a hole.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is there anything that's kind of the questions I had for the farm side, and if I miss something, holler. But
well, now I'm drawing a blank. Of course, I'm sure.
Okay.
When I was on the car on the way here, there's 100 things I wanted to talk about.
No, you're good. I kind of wanted to talk about you guys being organic.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about the fresh finds, what you guys kind of got going on. That it takes. It's not just you and your dad. It takes a whole army to hand pick everything.
And I guess I would say, the timing was just perfect, for me to come back at the farm. Like, I mean, it was before I met my wife, I would say I didn't have as many responsibilities to make money every week, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't that profitable when we were getting, a business startup.
Right.
Where, if I didn't make money, I just didn't spend money at the time, but now there's a lot more, mouths to feed and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I'm sure
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure having the family kind of makes it tough with you having to be involved 7 days a week. It's probably hard to plan. It was tough for us to find a date for even just to do this.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure do you have to miss things, or you got to get pretty good balance?
I'm blessed that the house is on the farm also. So, the wife and kids are always right there.
That helps.
My wife will still tell me, I'm not home there enough, but I mean,
I think every wife says that. Probably.
Yeah.
Especially business owners, entrepreneurs, things like that. Have to be in the business at all times.
Jesus, I guess going off on a rant now. I mean, you never actually clock out. You're always thinking about, what's going on the farm and all that stuff.
That's half the reason why I can't ever sleep at night.
Yeah.
Thinking about what I can do next in the podcast and in the insurance game and in the everything. It just it never ends. And Vance has got the same thing on the ranching side, and it just never stops. You think of something, and you're like, oh, I gotta write this down. Well, if I forget,
I just never ruin my
down. Exactly. I mean, I got a whole.
That's my problem, and then I'm like, oh my god, I should have wrote that down.
Yeah. I got a little note sheet on my phone, and then I'll type a note, and I'll be like, "What was I talking about?"
Yeah, half asleep.
Yeah,
putting a note in. Oh, what was that about?
Yep.
What's your growing seed? Like, when do you start planting in your greenhouse or start growing in your greenhouse? Then.
So the last thing, we'll say the first thing. The first thing we started growing would have been like onions in February. And the last thing that we.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I wanted 2 more beers. Sorry.
Are we paused?
No, we're not anymore. Are we paused now? Okay. Sorry. I was trying to get a couple beers and
I appreciate
he paused
it,
us. Yeah.
Parched.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
So I mean, there's a slow season, but it's like constant with the produce side of it. I'll backtrack a little bit. So like we start growing like the onions in February, and then that's the first thing that we're gonna plant. You know, it takes like 12 weeks before we transplant them outside. 10 weeks or so, end of April. And then we're like, again, even like, you know, when everyone's done, you know, your corn row crop farmers are harvesting, you know, we're still planting spinach in our hoop houses that overwinter, and we're harvesting throughout the winter time.
Oh, so you do grow over winter in your greenhouses?
A couple things. So we do spinach, radishes, and like a spring lettuce mix inside. It's called a caterpillar tunnel. So it's not a greenhouse. It's like a hoop house. Basically just a frame with plastic on top, and then another, it's called a frost cover or blanket. So like 2 layers there. It can freeze solid in there, but spinach, radishes, spring mix, they're really tough. So it warms up, and
we've raised cattle on radishes and turnips and stuff like that before.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the overwinter. Mm-hmm. I mean, they'll plant it after the corn comes out or beans come out.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, like sales in December and in January, we do cabbage that stores in our cooler really well. We do carrots. Growing carrots in the fall, by the way, everyone should do that compared to in the spring. It's so hard right now, but if you plant carrots in July, so much easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it hard right now?
Weeds is a big thing that it's hard. And then I don't know if it has something to do with days getting shorter or cooler weather in like September and October, but they just grow so much better. Like I think we harvested like 6,000 pounds of carrots that we sold last winter, and they were phenomenal. They tasted so good too.
Really?
Like I didn't know what a good carrot tasted like until last year, I swear.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know too much about greenhouses. Do you have like air purifiers or like humidifiers in there, or how exactly do those work?
We just have like a Mr. Heater propane heater in there. So ours is a very simple greenhouse too. Again, by definition, it's probably more of a hoop house or a high tunnel, but you know, it's a dirt floor that we put cinder blocks and pallets on for tables, and then, you know, that gets rotated around. Like we'll say 1/3 of it is sugar snap peas right now that we're just about to start harvesting. I tried one today. It was excellent. And then we have tomatoes in the other third of it, and then all of our plants that we're starting kind of in the middle, if that makes sense.
On the ones that you grow over the winter, do you have any like heat tubes or anything in there? You dig down into the ground and pull up some thermal heat?
So our big greenhouse, I guess our main one, we do have just touch something.
You okay? You're fine.
Our big greenhouse, so there is some like it's drain tile that we dig down like 8 foot in the ground, and then we use like a squirrel fan to pump air and then back out. It's kind of, it works better in the dead of winter when it's cold. Like right now we have it shut off.
Yeah, it doesn't really do you any good right now.
Right.
But I know in winter you get below that frost line.
Exactly.
You're gonna get all that heat
back
back
that
up.
like whatever 40-degree air pushed back up in there. Yeah.
That's interesting stuff. I'm glad we kept going, because I wouldn't have known all this stuff.
We do like I used to sell Johnson concrete cattle waters, and a lot of guys would, and we did it on ours. You dig down in different waters. You can dig down, and then you put some like truck tires and stuff down in the bottom, and creates a bigger hole, and then a drain tile pipe coming up, an 8-inch pipe, and that brings that heat back up. Just natural heat. You don't have to do anything.
No fan or anything.
Yep. So it doesn't give you a lot, but it everything helps.
A couple other things I thought of that we're doing. You asked if I was doing anything new.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has a spicy pickled green bean recipe that's phenomenal. We just we do have it approved to sell now. Like, it's a low acidic food, so working with getting that certified or whatever, taking the courses. My mom did all that stuff. Basically, we can sell those at the farmer's market now. Is what we did. And that's a new product. It's called Darlene's Dill Beans. My mom, Darlene. So
that'll be kind of
look
cool
for those at the farmer's market this summer. I'm hoping. I don't know if we'll be able to get in the produce basket. I'm going to try to get in the produce box too.
That'll be kind of fun. So, yeah. At least one time. That'd be fun to try it.
They're so good. It's she puts a whole jalapeno or like a diced jalapeno in each one, so there's a little kick in there. Good. So basically, once you're done eating your dill beans, then you can pour that little kick, the brine into your Busch Light to give your Busch Light a little extra flavor.
Exactly.
Too. So it's good. Should have brought a jar.
Yeah, you should have. That'd probably be good with asparagus too.
We haven't pickled the asparagus yet. We've done carrots; those are really good. We haven't perfected it so. On my side of town, I got Dos Hermanos over there. Have you ever been to that restaurant? They have the best pickled, and they're like coin size or whatever carrots. I've always wanted to figure out how they do that. But
that and
see, that's my least favorite thing they have there.
Really?
I don't like pickled carrots. I hate pickled carrots.
Pickled carrots, pickled radishes. And they keep them.
I just like fresh radishes.
And I know, but they have them they have a good snap to them still. They're not soft. I don't know. It's got to be like a time frame
just
thing.
It's a vinegar thing for me.
I don't know how they do it. I wish I did.
So like everything you don't sell that's in season, do you guys can or do you just take the loss?
Sometimes we got to take the loss. We got a compost pile.
But that kind of goes right back into your
right, exactly. Yeah, then we'll use that to feed next year's produce. We try to do. We've been doing it for a few years now, so we kind of know how much we're going to sell. I'm getting better at predicting. I'm like, oh man, we're going to have tons of tomatoes all at once, and then contacting stores, contacting people like, hey, can I give you, do you want to can some tomatoes as soon as these are ready in a week from now, stuff like that.
I just didn't know if you guys can some and then sell those through. You could sell those throughout the winter or something. I know there's the canning's coming back. A lot of people are really getting into canning vegetables and meat and everything.
That's also one. I guess I'll jump back to schools. There's a couple schools I'm talking to that want to do some canning this summer. Because that's the prime produce season. Is when they're not in school. So.
Definitely. Yeah, the canning is a big thing. But you just said so you had to get certified to sell in a jar, or is that to keep it organic? Is that what that was for? Or?
So basically, low acidic foods, you need to take a class, which my mom did through UNL, a 2-day class. I had to beg her to go down there and take it because I'm like, Mom, these beans are so good, we need to sell these. She had to do that first. Then we had to. So we have to do these in a certified kitchen, and we have a restaurant here in Norfolk that's gracious enough to let us use their kitchen. So then we did a practice round in front of the local food inspector with, store, we did it just a month ago with store-bought beans and, store-bought garlic, store-bought
so it doesn't have to be organic to get the class or whatever.
Sorry, the Darlene's dill beans, we did not certify those organic. We're just trying to get it started, and then it'll be a whole nother step to do the certified organic.
Gotcha. So you just had to take the class and do all that just to sell that piece of it. The low
just
acidic
to sell
food.
the low acidic food. Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
I know you had to have to sell in that capacity. You had to have a certified kitchen.
Right. Yep.
Which I still think I still think that's kind of crazy because I think some people take more care at home. Obviously, not everybody.
I've been in some restaurant kitchens. So.
That's what I mean. I just think sometimes
you've worked in them.
People.
It's. It just takes one dummy to make the mistake. Make the rules for ruin it for everyone.
Right.
Honestly, I don't even know what that.
Well, we're saying some of the restaurant kitchens are a little shaky.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly right. Yeah,
that's what it is. That's cool. You guys are getting.
I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Waiting or not.
Yeah, Waiting.
It's not complete fiction.
Yeah,
it's maybe not that bad.
Some of that's true for sure.
There's one other thing new this year also that I got to mention. So we're doing, and these aren't certified organic either. We're doing flower hanging baskets.
Okay.
So I did we did like 200 baskets that are geraniums. There's a mix of geraniums, petunias, and verbenas in them. Yeah, so they look really nice right now. We've been selling them at the farmers markets.
What made you want to do that?
So I went into Tractor Supply last year and I saw strawberry hanging baskets for sale. I think they were like $25 each, and they probably had $25 each. They probably had 100 of them. And then of course I go there regularly. So I went back a week later and they were all gone. And I'm like, that is easy. I can do that. So I have strawberry hanging baskets. And then when I was like, well, while I'm doing it, why don't I do some flowers too?
I was always wondering too, is this something you guys could do in the boxes, or even just something that you could sell at the farmers markets, doing like herb, like baskets or pots?
We do have a couple herb planters. Yeah. But I mean, we kind of keep it simple with dill, cilantro, and basil.
That's still, I mean,
yeah.
Those are three
like
real good ones.
Fresh cilantro and basil. I mean, those are two of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like going back to my Dos Hermanos, I love the cilantro.
I was gonna say, you can pretty much, you can make a lot of things out of
anything.
dill, cilantro, and basil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, yeah. I kind of forget. So yeah, you do get cilantro in the box sometimes.
Yeah. I think
I don't think I've ever gotten basil, but
I thought she put a recipe. Megan put
Did
a
she?
recipe
She might
in
have.
with the cilantro. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about basil, I guess.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
we've
there's a
gotten
recipe
cilantro.
for cilantro. I just put it on my tacos.
It
That's pretty much the
was
only
some
thing I
kind
heard.
of dip, I think. But
Could have been.
yeah,
And maybe I'm wrong.
She didn't make it for me anyway, so I don't. Yeah.
There's a lot of dips you can make out of dill, and I mean,
Yeah.
cilantro is just amazing.
Yep.
I think it's great.
I like it a lot.
Other than that, I've got some. So we have some questions that we do for everybody that comes on here
Okay.
talking about politics. But I just want to make sure there's nothing else that you thought of through that whole time to talk about on the farm. Because I don't want to undercut you on the farm stuff.
Right. Let's say, well, for Norfolk listeners, definitely come visit us at the Norfolk Farmers Market. Starts this
Yep.
Saturday morning. I don't know if you're getting around to that too or not, but
No, we can't.
When is that?
it starts this Saturday. It's at the Johnny Carson mural.
Yep.
I can't remember.
So the
what
Pocket Park now. So it's on
that's what 3rd and Norfolk.
3rd and Norfolk Avenue. Yep.
Yep.
Saturday, when to win?
It starts at 9, goes to noon. Come early though, because the produce selection is slimmer this time of year.
Yeah, it goes pretty fast.
And yeah,
I know where we're going.
check out our hanging baskets there too.
Hanging
I'll be in
baskets.
Sioux City, but you'll get to say hello to Arlene and ask her about her dill beans this summer.
There you go. That'll be kind of fun.
Will the dill beans be there?
They're not ready yet. So we did it. Well, we have a bunch, that aren't, done in the certified kitchen. So, I can eat them myself, but we can't sell them.
So you can bring
But-
me a jar.
I can bring you a jar.
Yeah.
You could bring me a jar.
Yeah.
Even at a farmer's market, you can't sell that stuff?
No, not. I mean, you can do like jams and jellies and baked goods in a home kitchen, but when it comes to low acidic foods, they say no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting how
It depends on which farmer
regulations
market
work.
you go to. Maybe if you go to say out west
I
somewhere,
was
they're
gonna say,
not going to
I mean, that's
pay attention to it.
That's the the county food inspector, and she goes by the state rules. So, I mean, I'm sure people do it until they get told not to.
Right.
Yeah, it's better to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stop asking for permission.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to try those now, though.
Yeah,
You kind of hyped them up pretty good.
they're so good. Yeah.
Now you're going to have to make
man.
a whole crap ton of them
So
because
that-
everybody's going to want
Yep,
them.
that's the plan. They're let's see, green beans are probably ready like July 1st of July or so. So then we're gonna start making them like crazy.
And your guys' green beans are good just in general.
Oh,
So
they're good.
I can't imagine how these are going to be.
How do you like your green beans?
It just depends. So I've been stuck on this recipe lately. I blanch them for about 4 minutes,
Yep.
cool them off real fast, and then I throw them with some olive oil, a bunch of different seasonings, a little Parmesan, and some brisket bacon, and then I bake that. It's
Good.
it's
then
pretty
you
solid.
bake it, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just to get that cheese melted a little bit. It's so
Yep.
good.
I
But
just
they-
love my fresh green beans just steamed, like salt
Yeah.
and pepper, and that's it. Like
Yep,
just
me too.
yeah.
A little bit of butter.
I want crunch. I don't even need to.
Oh,
butter.
mine's so that's cool.
I need super crunchy.
with me blanching them just for that little bit of time. It just gets that nice snap still, but it's not chewy.
Yep.
Just a nice little snap. It's good.
if the grill's turned on anyway, you know, just put them straight on the grill. Spray some, I use some spray butter and some Lowry's.
Really?
That's good. Yeah, get them a little crispy.
Nice. That'd be good too, actually. Yeah, I never thought about that.
I mean, you can do that. You can say that with any vegetable. You know, spray a little butter on it, put some
Well,
Lowry's
right.
on it, and, yeah, on the grill. Oh,
I wonder if has anybody ever tried smoked green beans before?
I just like mine steamed.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is about me. I don't mind.
I might have to try that this summer.
I do like green beans with bacon and butter, and just real unhealthy green beans.
It's not what I make isn't unhealthy. It's really good butter. It's
Come to Justin and I's
really good
kitchen.
Parmesan
And
cheese.
it is 10 pounds of bacon, a pound of green beans, and a pound of butter. That's
I'll
kinda
be
how,
there.
That's how we do that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other plans to pickle other produce?
If Darlene's dill beans are successful, then yes, we'll build a whole certified kitchen on the farm and pickle anything you want.
We'll go make Darlene's, what was it?
Darlene's dill beans.
Darlene's dill beans successful so we can get more. That's
Yes.
Darlene's dill beans. I got it now. We're good. That's funny. But you guys are doing great things. I think I always try to support you when I can. I try to put your name out there, and I think you guys are doing some good stuff around here. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Make sure you go. We'll do the questions first, and then I'll shout you out. So this is going to be a completely off topic from what we were talking about. We've been doing with an election year coming up. We've been talking about some politics. So
fun.
we've been ending every episode with politics.
Yeah.
How do you feel about where the state of our country is right now, and do you feel that we are being well represented at the federal and state level?
How do I feel?
And it's okay to answer honestly. It's okay.
Know, it's I don't know if I should bring it up, but my wife just bought me a T-shirt that says "Grow vegetables, don't elect them." I almost wore it today.
I love your shirt today.
Yeah, so I
MILF shirt.
chose this one instead. My
Man, I love farming.
I do love farming, man.
That's good.
But
Grow vegetables, don't elect vegetables. That's good. I like
Exactly.
that.
Let's see. I mean, I do love America. I mean, I'll say. I mean, but it's.
Don't worry, nobody said anything good.
Right, no one said anything.
30
Nobody has said.
We're 30
Yes,
episodes
I
in.
love where we're at.
You can
I
say
love
whatever you
that's
want. Trust me,
good.
every person
I
that's been
mean-
on this podcast has not said anything good at this point in the
Okay, yeah, it's
So don't be afraid.
I mean, I don't like my my interest rate on my mortgage. I don't like that. The price of gas is no fun. So yeah, I think we can definitely be doing better than we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. Do you feel that the two-party system that's in place is still working in today's time?
I would say I don't have enough knowledge and background.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely conservative, but I don't follow close enough to be honest with you. You know, I
That's
just
okay.
love to be out on my farm growing produce. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Especially you don't have to be around it a whole lot. You know, you guys live out on the farm and you guys are kind of secluded. You don't have to worry a whole lot all the time about everything.
Yeah.
We just talk a lot about how there's a lot of infighting and there's what Vance calls the uniparty, where it's not really two parties. They're kind of together.
And again, I don't watch the news. Well, I mean, can I say I don't even trust the news that I do watch? I mean,
It's
I don't
okay.
know.
We don't trust it either.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to believe. You know,
That's why
I
we
mean,
started the podcast, so we can,
I'll
have our own
say
news.
I'm all for like smaller local government, compared to, yeah.
You want to hear
DC telling
Vance's thoughts on what government should be? Here, go ahead.
Give me a little, yeah.
All right, we just need one guy in a room doing nothing.
There we go.
Just we'll pay him $70,000 a year, and everything else is privatized.
Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
Privatize everything else.
If you're afraid to answer, there's Vance's answer.
Perfect. Yeah. No, I'm just
It's
not
unfeasible,
educated.
but
Yeah.
I would say I'm not educated enough to give a good answer, but I mean, I
That's all
have
right.
my opinion that could be right or wrong. I mean,
That's all we're here to do is give opinions.
Right, yeah.
Nobody's right or wrong.
there we go.
You can give whatever opinion you want.
I mean, I don't like paying taxes if that's all right, and then getting,
And we're
Well, I'd like
we're
to
so
hear.
fine with less taxes too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. So where do you see yourself going in the future? Are you enjoying where you are? Do you see yourself staying in Northeast Nebraska? I'm assuming that's all yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yes. So we'll go like with my family here in Northeast Nebraska. So we got, I got 2 little ones with a 3rd one due in a couple weeks here. So
Congratulations.
we are excited. Thank you. I tell my wife, I mean, she's doing most of the work. Let's be honest.
You did a little bit of work. That's good.
Brayden, busy time. You're not even going to get the help from her. She's going to be laid up.
That's just it. Yeah.
You didn't plan that right, huh?
So our first boy, he's going to be 3 in, the 24th of the month here. So, we had a kid in, Josh, he was born in May. So I'm like, Megan, that was middle of the business season.
Work harder in the winter.
Then I said, I'm like, we should, our girl, she was born in October. I'm like, that was much better. I was busy for a month or so, and then I was here. And then
now you're
just screwed again. Yeah. I'm like, now we got 2 kids to take care of in diapers. With the 3rd one coming in a couple weeks. So
right in busy season.
I'm excited.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
it'll keep you busy, keep you out of trouble, right?
We built, yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, hopefully. We built the shop house here on the farm a year ago, and we're not going anywhere.
That's good. It's good to see. It's kind of the way some things are going, where you're seeing these what they're calling compounds now, where you're living on the same, however many acres with your family, like your parents and whoever, sometimes they bring in both sets of parents and everybody's living, a few miles apart, but they're all in the same,
No,
area.
It's great. Yeah. My parents are 1,000 feet away, and then her parents are just across town. So, I mean, all the grandmas and grandpas that the kids want. We're blessed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that's all I had for you.
Awesome.
Vance, you got anything else?
No, not really. I think we kind of went over everything.
Yeah, we did.
But just interesting. I like the organic side and hearing about how you do it. And
that's a cool story.
I still can't get over you enjoying picking sweet corn, but apparently you've never had to pick 24 rows that are a quarter mile long. I just don't know. Can't get it. Don't understand it. I always got voluntold to pick sweet corn. I don't like it. I don't mind eating sweet corn, but I can't stand picking it.
Nope. That's funny.
I don't like walking through a cornfield. I can't, like in the middle, it's so hot and I get cut up, and I just don't like it.
Wasn't anything I've ever done. So like, don't be yelling at me that I've never done it before. But I could imagine as you're walking through there when it's at the highest point, there's probably no airflow.
No.
Right?
Miserable.
Yeah.
Sweet corn's like, it's head high. Like, in a field cornfield, that's
field corn's
way worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Not my thing.
Yeah.
But we have people that like it.
You guys probably do you have wider rows since you're doing it to grow it? I'm assuming so. You're not.
We're on 30-inch rows, so not
24. 20.
Not 24, 20. Yeah. I mean, we used to have 36, but down, and we grow varieties that are pretty short, small plants. That put on a good size ear still. We definitely keep the tractor, with the box really close to where you're at, so you're not hauling sweet corn too far, Do it early in the morning, so you get wet rather than.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's give a shout out. Make sure you guys go to Wolff Farms Facebook page, WOLFF Farms Facebook page, and then you said it was wolffarmsproduce.com.
Yep.
So wolffarmsproduce.com, 3 F's in there. Make sure you don't forget that.
There's a fresh finds tabs. You can sign up right there or give me a call.
Yep. Do you want to give out your number?
It's 992-3055.
Perfect. So if you guys want to get the fresh find boxes, please do. They're great for going through that 14-week process. It's awesome. You get a lot of stuff for the money. Trust me. And then you don't have to go to the store all the time. You can get your week's worth of vegetables right then and there. I think it's a great thing, and then you're just supporting a local farmer here in town.
I like that it's fresh too, and it'll last longer. I mean, you don't have to eat it that week. I mean,
Exactly,
you can keep it a little bit longer if you don't have something to do that week or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
There we
It
go.
works a lot of times. If we know we're not going to use a certain piece of it, we'll freeze it.
Yep.
Real quick. So it lasts for a long time.
There is one. I mean, if you know you're going on vacation or something like that 1 week too, yeah, we can always do the, if you tell me well in advance, no box this week, give me 2 boxes next week kind of thing too, so you don't miss out.
That's kind of a cool thing too. Yeah, that's awesome. Trust me, he's very flexible. He will work with you on a lot of things. So just give him a call. Go check out the website. Go check out the Facebook page. Make sure you sign up Sign up a week before June 3rd, right? Let's just tell people.
Right, yeah.
Don't sign up June 2nd. Let's sign up, a week ahead of time. The end of May. Let's just say the end of May.
There we go.
So June 4th?
June 4th, yeah.
I'm sure you have people do it afterwards.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
We do have people sign up late, once in a while.
That's funny. Other than that, go check them out. Make sure you guys hit them up. Huge thanks to you for coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Really
I appreciate it.
I know it was kind of nerve-wracking, but...
Oh, it was fun. I had a good time.
I do got one more question. When you go to your farmer's market, do you usually take a few of these boxes for people that don't have the subscription? You sell them that way? Like if somebody just wants to, it's the fresh box and we're going to buy one of those and you charge up a little bit for what they would be?
So we don't take, no, we just have
your general of whatever's there.
Right, yeah, piles.
Probably take brochures though.
We do, bring a few,
That might be kind of a good idea though. Maybe just take a few. Just in case somebody wants to see what a box is like, type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
And say, if you get it in subscription, it's only this much a box. But now you're paying this much a box. So here,
I should mention that, too, that it is a cheaper price. Yeah, the Fresh Finds box is compared to. I mean, you're getting more of the wholesale price since you're committing to 14 weeks. Like more of a wholesale volume of a whole garden of produce.
Yep.
So what is a box this year? I can't remember.
It's $336 for 14 weeks. It comes down to $24 a box for the 7 items in the box.
That's a steal for what you're getting. If you go to the store and buy what you're getting, it's going to be way more than that right now. Trust me. That's great. And then if you do one of these locations, right, you get a little bit of a discount.
Yep. So if you're like I said, if you have a pool of like 10 employees or 10, customers that you do the you guys do the logistics of it, like, the text reminder, stuff like that, make sure everyone gets their box. Yeah, there's a $20 discount.
There you go.
A pool of 10 at one location.
So if anybody wants to pick up at my office,
there you go.
Let me know. But yeah, it's great stuff you guys are doing, you and your dad and the family. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to my co-host Vance Sat and producer Cole Peterson. Without them, this show would not be what it is. And a huge thanks to Jay Wolff. We really appreciate you making time to be here.
I appreciate it. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was great.
It was great. It was great. We'll have you back on sometime. Maybe you got your first episode in, and we'll come back and talk about new stuff.
Warming up. I'm like, what else I know, right? About?
So keep on the lookout for more great episodes, and we'll see you guys next week.